The impression I get is that the music industry generally doesn't know how it functions anymore. Effectively, there's no money in it anymore. So anyone who does get involved in it is doing it really because they genuinely love what they're doing. It's driven by enthusiasts again.
Little researcher chart it all up, plot it on a graph of what you found, all of the things you see.
I think we'd quite like to occupy the space in between really small grassroots labels and like bigger ones, so that maybe we work with bands on their kind of debut records or debut singles, and then they maybe go on to more prestigious places, I guess.
So it might just be Vicky and I that are kind of sat here, but you know we're very lucky that we've got a lot of good friends who are very much kind of as part of Comics and Cartwheels as we are.
We sort of were friends with Paul, who runs the label for years. It seemed like the easiest thing to do in the world is to have them work for us and put the EP out for us on Comics and Cartwheels.
There's some other great independent labels in Glasgow. Everybody comes together and shares ideas, and you know you all sort of cross paths at shows and all the rest of it.
I do find the amount of labels cropping up really exciting. And Glasgow's always been quite good for having little scenes going on, but what I find now is that in the past, a lot of these smaller labels and a lot of the bands were always looking for someone else to provide the answers, to come up with videos, to come up with a budget to do this. Whereas now, if I work with a band, it's unusual they haven't got all these things.
I think in the last kind of 6 months it's become very clear that you're the PR man, I think.
PR man.
Yeah, and I kind of handle all the geeky stuff like...
He tells me what buttons to hit and I press them.
Yeah, I tend to handle all the more dorky stuff like building the website and editing videos.
Although there's only two of us in our band, with the two of them working with us, it's almost like a four-piece and we all work together.
We're not even so much a label as we are just a kind of creative kind of project management type outfit, I think. Like, it's not really just about putting out a product, it's about trying to be very innovative when we put events together and videos.
The launch show, we did that on board the tall ship down in front of the Riverside Museum. It's certainly not a space that's used as a music venue an awful lot, so it was to kind of have that kind of unique feel, and it was something different and something a bit more ambitious.
There's a few bands on the label, Quick Beam and Kitty the Lion, and they're passionate about all three bands' music, and they're friends with all three bands as well.
I mean, one of the big problems we've had is there's probably so many bands that we would love to work with, and it comes down to time. I mean, we do both have jobs, we do both have other commitments.
It takes a lot these days to actually get a release and to get people to listen to your music. So if there's other people that are doing the groundwork, and it gives you just the opportunity to continue just to write songs and record songs.
It used to be if a band put a record on a label and the label was good, and it would be marketed and you could see the video and say, yeah, I like this, and that's how it worked. But now there's so much stuff on, you go on YouTube and try and find new bands, there's hundreds of thousands of them. Over the last 2 or 3 years, so many incredibly talented people have come through here, and you just think in a fairer time, then these folk would have been hugely successful financially as well as critically.
I don't think it's ever been about monetary gain for us. It's been, it hasn't.
It's not. Anyway. It's definitely not.
I mean, having previously done it proper DIY, like doing it absolutely on our own, they know where not to lose money.
They're not making money from it, so it's not like they try to get bands to think, all right, we'll be able to get money off this and do that. They're just doing it for the sheer love of it.
I love ideas people more than anything. I love bands that are teaming with ideas, not necessarily musical ones, but lyrical ones or visual ones or whatever. They obviously kind of epitomise that model that we're talking about, and I'm interested to see what happens from here.
Can we turn the camera off and chat about this? This is the setup. I think that's the thing about an independent label. I'm working at this level. It has to be a labour of love.